Peace be upon you in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Here I am Muhammad Fatih Afnani. I will explain about definition. I will explain definition about grammar translation method and the other method based on what I understand. The first method is grammar translation method. The goal of teacher. The teacher goal in this method is to read literary work and make their students understand the meaning of the literary work on their own language. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher arranges all students to do something, and students do what their teacher tells them to do. What is the characteristic of teacher? What is the characteristic? Students are taught to translate one of language into another language, and then they apply it into another examples. The next method is direct method. What is the goal of teacher? The goal of teacher is intended student to learn how to communicate in target language. What is the role of teacher and student? Teacher and student in this method like partner because this method cannot apply if one of both are passive. What is the characteristic? The teacher teaches students to relate the meaning and vocabulary of sentence directly, and students practice the vocabulary into another sentence. Next method is audiolingual method. What is the goal of teacher? Teacher wants their student to be able to speak and communicate in other language without thinking. What is the role of teacher and student? A teacher is responsible for directing students to understand and be able to use another language, and the student have to do that. What is the characteristic? Students learn new vocabulary from the dialect and conversation. It's given by teacher. Students also learn vocabulary from oral assignment. It's given by teacher. Next is silent method. What is the goal of teacher? The goal of teacher is students should be able to use the language for self-expression, to express their thought, perceptions, and feelings. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher helps students when they find difficulties, and students learn freely without interference from homework or something else. What is the characteristic? The teacher asks students to describe their reactions to the lesson or what they have learned. Next method, the suggestopedia. What is the goal of teacher? Teacher wants the student to learn foreign language faster by the suggesting psychology learning. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher in the one of manage everything in the classroom. Student must follow what the teacher asks. What is the characteristic? This method uses the concept of a bright and not boring classroom. The posters are changed every week because students maybe feel bored. Next, Next, community language learning. What is the goal of teacher? Teacher want their students to learn language communicatively as well, so that they can learn on their own about their learning. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher as a counselor is to accommodate all student problems. Students continue to learn and are expected to become independent. What is the characteristic? Students usually carry out conversation using their mother tongue. Teacher helps them express what they want to say by giving them translation or language in chunks. Next method, total physical response. What is the goal of teacher? Teacher who use this method believe that students need to use their expression to further improve their learning abilities because they tend to be more relaxed. What is the role of teacher and student? At first, the teacher role is to direct students, and students are the nonverbal material. But around 10 up to 20 lessons, it will turn around. What is the characteristic? In the first stage, students are ordered to do something, then they do that. This is done over and over again to find out if they are lying or not. Communicative language teaching. What is the goal of teacher? The teacher goal in this method is so that students can communicate using other language and know the meaning, the function of the language. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher role is to advise and regulate communication student. Student role is to make themselves understand the target language and other people. What is a characteristic? Almost of the goal of this method are so that students better understand communication through games and learning tasks. Content-based task-based and participatory approaches. What is the goal of teacher? The teacher asks students to do the given task, which is to fill the blank letter from a vocabulary until the students are proficient. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher divides the student into several groups to write letters, and then the students do that and share the assignment into their friends or the other people, and they read that. What is characteristic? The teacher involves students to discuss the problem they are experiencing, and students find solution of problem with teacher. The last method is learning strategy training, cooperative learning, and multiple intelligence. What is the goal of teacher? The teacher goal in this method is to develop students reading and analyzing skills by reading journal, book, and etc. What is the role of teacher and student? The teacher role is to provide material or teaching material. The role of student is to accept and do it and as if there are difficulties. What is the characteristic? Teacher using this method want the student to think about what they are learning, and the teacher will ask them about the learning. Thank you for your attention. Peace be upon you.